You know, when he was first drafted by the Toronto Maple Leafs, this skater was said to be the one that was going to help solve some of the defensive issues for the Leafs in the early 1980s. It never came about. He eventually had some solid years in Colorado and Hartford. We know what he's done as a coach, but we're going to concentrate today on his legacy as a player. Now, people forget how good of a player Joel Quenneville was. Now, obviously, as a coach, he's a Stanley Cup winner. He's done a lot on the world scene for the NHL, various players that he's guided. But Joel Quenneville, when he started, again, had so much positive hype. Didn't work out in Toronto, but like I said, when it doesn't happen in Toronto, it happens someplace else. Now, he played majority of his minor hockey career in Windsor, born there, obviously. 6 feet, 188, looked kind of bigger on skates sometimes, obviously. He was eventually drafted 21st overall by the Buds in the 78 NHL amateur draft. Now, his first season with Windsor's major junior squad, he had 48 points. Second year, he had 78 points, and 78 in a rare feat for a junior player at the time as a defenseman. He had 103 points in 66 games, including 27 goals. Now, prior to being drafted, he won a bronze at the World Juniors in 78 as a reserve, as he did not play. He was OMJHL All-Star second team in 78, and an OMJHL All-Star game participant for Windsor in 77. Now, he also attended the University of Windsor during his junior career, which just showed his well-rounded, application to hockey. Now, this is the big thing. He was part of the Lanny McDonald trade. Him and Lanny went to Colorado in exchange for Pat Hickey and Wilt Piedmont during Christmas week, December 29th, 1979. This was a trade so shocking, 90% because of Lanny McDonald, but 10% because they couldn't believe Toronto would give up on Quenneville so quickly, and I tell you why. He had played part of the 79 season in New Brunswick, called up to the big team. He had 11 points in 61 games. Now, second season with Toronto, he was, progressing quite well, even though he only had 5 points in 32 games. Traded to Colorado, and he opened out. Second season there, he had 34 points in 71 games. And when the team shifted to New Jersey in 83, he followed them, and it was eventually traded to the Whalers in the 83-84 campaign as part of the Vulcan deal. Now, talking about his career in hockey, full NHL totals over a number of seasons, mostly with Hartford, of course. 803 games, 54 goals, 136 assists for 190 points, and 705 minutes in penalties. In his playoff career with Toronto and Hartford, 8 assists in 32 games. Now, he was named Hartford's most valuable defenseman in 84 and 85. He won the Hartford Founders Trophy for community service in 88, won the Hartford Good Guy Award in 1990, and was the favorite Hartford Whaler in that 1990 season. Now, he did have some problem with injuries during his career, as he missed parts of the 80 season with ribcage injury, and he missed part of 82 with a bad ankle sprain in his left ankle, a twisted left knee, and facial lacerations when he crashed into the boards during a practice in Colorado on January 4th, 82. Now, when he relocated to New Jersey, he was traded by the Devils with Steve Tambellini to Calgary for Phil Russell and Mel Bridgman on June 20, 83. He never played for Calgary, but again, talking about the Quenneville and Richie Dunn trade to Hartford Mickey Vulcan just 2 weeks later on July 5th, 83. Now, he also missed part of the 86 season with a pulled stomach muscle, an injury he suffered during a December 16 game at Montreal. Now, they could have won the Stanley Cup that year, but unfortunately the Game 7 loss to Montreal stopped them in their tracks. But 87 was a rough year for him again, as he missed part of the season with a broken right shoulder clavicle in a game against Boston December 18, 86. Now, he missed part of the 89 season with a separated shoulder, an injury suffered during a game against Montreal again, this time on January 19, 89. Now, he was an assistant captain with Hartford 85 to 89, which involved him getting involved in, not say coaching, but motivating the players on his team. He was kind of an unofficial second coach for Hartford in all these years there with the squad. Now, he eventually re-signed with Toronto as an unrestricted free agent on July 30th, 91, but never played for the parent team as he was pretty well, sent to the minors that year, where he won an all-star second team that year in the AHL for St. John's in 92. Now, from there, again, it started off with player-coach with St. John's, and led to him with the position as an AC there, and it continued on. Now, what Quenneville is also known for, not only is for his cerebral look at hockey, he has been very active in numerous charitable causes over the years, especially the Whalers Community Relations Program during his seasons in Hartford. Now, he also played first base for Hartford's off-season charity softball team, and his diverse career as well, including working as a stockbroker for Lake Mason Company during the summers of 87 and 88. Now, a career in hockey is only as good as what you leave, and everybody that played with Joel and everybody that played against him said, one of the most solid skaters of his generation. A little bit rambunctious every once in a while, but you're playing in Hartford, it happens. So like I said, but generally, by the way, he also played 9 games with Washington in 91. He played the majority of the season with the Skipjacks, where he had 19 points. But his best season for me has to be that 81 campaign in Colorado, 34 points in 71 games. And I can tell you he was very popular with the women back in the day. And not in a bad way. The female fans love Joel because a nice person, coming from Windsor. But his background is quite interesting, ladies and gentlemen. He's Franco-Ontarian. A lot of people don't know that. Now, he's also married to Elizabeth, a native of Connecticut who he met during his stint with the Whalers. Now, they live in Coral Springs, Florida, of course, where he's head coach over there. And he eventually became a U.S. citizen after working over 30 years in the States, and now as dual citizen. Now, big problem with him as well. He had some health issues in 2011 caused by internal bleeding, and I guess problem is he had a small ulcer started by aspirin. Now, he's also a first cousin once removed of Peter Quenneville, who was drafted 195th overall by the Columbus Blue Jackets in the 2003 entry draft. Now, John Quenneville, who was drafted 30th overall by the Devils in the 2004 NHL entry draft, and David, who was drafted 200 overall by the Islanders in the 2016 NHL entry draft, are also related to him. So the Quenneville talent is there like you wouldn't believe. Again, his totals as a coach, multiple Stanley Cup winner, great in 3 titles in Chicago, tremendous motivator. But like I said, it take too long to cover Joel's coaching career, because obviously he's going to make the Hall of Fame down the road as a coach. But like I said, as a player, very durable. And again, if Toronto would have kept him, you shouldn't have traded him with McDonald. You should just give McDonald for Paymont and Hickey. Imagine if you would have kept Joel Quenneville, a good stay-at-home defenseman with offensive prowess, and that's what he needed, and that's what he didn't get when he traded him. Thanks for listening. If you like what we're doing here, give us a like, comment, or subscribe. And comments and requests are always expected, appreciated, and taken. Have a good day. Bye.